Yeah, okay.
Easily.
Perfect.
Back with you here on the Morning Brew for Monday. I'm Larry Ahrens. I am joined this week by Greg Mays. Greg is from simplecocktails.net, simplecocktails.com.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
And we get to work together on a podcast, and we'll talk about that a little later. But it's good to have you here this week.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Thanks, Larry.
We're joined on the couch here by two gentlemen from SCORE. And if you don't know what SCORE is, you're about to find out. This organization's been around a long time. Vic Berniklau is in the middle here, and good to see you again, Vic. And Pete Mikelson is here. Now, Peter, you're the
I'm the district director for New Mexico and Southwest Texas, as it happens, El Paso.
This, I've interviewed you guys from SCORE many, many times, and I think it's a great organization. Let me see if I can remember the acronym. Service Corps of Retired Executives.
Well, that's now been, as they say in the software world,
Retired,
because we're not just retired anymore. We want volunteers from all ages and genders and whatever. We are very inclusive now.
It's good.
And we need younger folks. We need volunteers of all kinds, but we need younger folks too, because they are in tune with what's going on in the small business world today.
Very good. So what is it that SCORE does?
We primarily are volunteers who are former business owners or business executives who volunteer their time to help start businesses, grow them, and make them successful. We are affiliated with the Small Business Administration and receive some of our funding from them, but we also raise our own while we act like a business. So, we provide educational programs as well as the one-on-one counseling for which we're well known.
What's the so what does that look like? What is the training programs, everything? What does that look like? Is there a cost associated? How does that all work?
Vic, you want to answer that one?
Well, we have about 13,000 volunteers across the country, organized in about 300 plus chapters, one of which is here in Albuquerque, one in Santa Fe, one in Las Cruces, one in El Paso. And none of us get paid, we're all volunteers. So what we do is we work with people, either startups, people who have business issues, all the way to helping people sell their business. So it's the entire spectrum. Wow. And we work with startups who are thinking about it, all the way up to very established, well-established businesses who want to expand their businesses. And so it's a no-cost kind of operation for all of the mentoring. And then we have some very low-cost training sessions that we can provide people depending upon their needs.
Yeah, for example, on the 8th of November, we'll be doing a marketing program where we expect people to come and tell us what they're going to do to reach their target audience, what messages they're going to use. And we work it as a peer-to-peer type of thing where the SCORE person is there to facilitate, but really the answers come from people who are also in business and very often have had experiences that can help a given person work out what will work for them.
You guys are the original business mentors, aren't you?
Go back 50 years now.
50
We're celebrating
years.
our 50th anniversary. We were created by Congress in 1964 under charter from the SBA.
Wonderful. Can you each talk about your business background?
Sure. Well, I'll start.
Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
I thought I was going to be a college professor like my dad, but I discovered that my specialty was definitely going downhill, which was Russian area studies in the late 60s, early 70s, and I switched over to the private sector. I got a job with a company that consulted with Fortune 500 companies and wrote newsletters specifically aimed at helping them become more sophisticated with international business, because the founder of the company, who was a former executive, had decided that Americans were behind in understanding and moving into the international business environment. So I had that job for quite a long time. Started databases and forecasting products for them. And I moved to a company called LexisNexis, whom you've probably heard of.
Yes.
They do primarily databases to support law firms, but they do others, and I was hired to work on international business content.
Interesting work.
Very interesting. I had an exciting job.
Great.
Vic?
Started out my career with an engineering degree, mechanical engineering, and worked after service in the Navy for what was called the Atomic Energy Commission. People go back that far, which morphed into the Department of Energy, and put in about 35 years of federal service throughout, and left DOE, retired as a senior executive after working in a number of technical and administrative management positions. Started a couple of companies in electronic security, home security systems and ICSS, and with my wife and son, and we got them up to about 30 employees, a couple million in sales, and turned them over to our son about 9 years ago. So those are his businesses that he's expanding. And in my retirement, I've been working with SCORE, and there's a great deal of satisfaction doing that because you can see the people actually achieve success. And with the mentorship, they have a higher probability of success than otherwise.
That's really exciting.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, it sure is. What does that look like now that you moved from the retired executive kind of moniker? What does that look like to start to include some of the younger executives, current executives, I suppose we would say?
Well, there is a generational gap, as we all know, particularly as we go through an increasingly changing technological environment. So it's a kind of a learning capacity, not only for the young people to learn the concepts and the experience, that is the pitfalls, the holes in the wood and the road that the older people have gone through, but at the same time an opportunity for the older people to learn the new technology, you know, the obviously the tweeting and the blogging, etc. So there's a mutual exchange and there's a bonding in a sense through that mutual exchange.
Yeah, the principles of business are the same. They haven't changed in...
Correct.
They haven't changed, but you know, there are nuances and there are things that are current. For example, the notion of getting to market with a minimum product structure has become very, very major as a way to start a business, particularly in high tech. So we've actually begun reading and adopting these concepts to help regular old small startup businesses, whatever flavor, focus on the customer, focus on identifying what's a minimum successful product that will fit in the market they're serving. And it's really helped us focus on what people need to know these days in a very crowded marketplace, which I honestly believe is tougher than when we were younger.
That's an interesting observation. How do people engage SCORE and take advantage of the service?
Well, that's really easy. We have a website, of course, and it's connected with our national website. All one needs to do is go to albuquerque.score.org. They'll see a request a meeting button. We offer unlimited free consultation for as long as the business operates, as long as they want to take part with SCORE, and it's of course confidential. We don't divulge anything, and we also do not profit in any way from our clients. That's an ethical point with SCORE. They can also, of course, call us at 248-8232. We have a fully integrated virtual exchange now, though they can reach any one of our mentors directly. Another example of the new technology that's available for small businesses that's very efficient. So 248-8232 will get you somebody replying right away.
Oh, that's great. I know you have some upcoming events you mentioned.
We do. I mentioned November 8th. We also have a roundtable this coming Wednesday morning, which is a roundtable is a free structure, so to speak. It's a peer-to-peer relationship. Think of it as an advisory group, as Vic said. It's also free, and so they can find all of our meetings on the calendar at albuquerque.score.org. And we do a regular group of presentations and roundtables throughout the year.
Oh, that's great. What a great resource.
Why not take advantage of this experience? I mean, they've been
The price is right.
And the price is right.
You got it.
One more question, guys. Roughly how many volunteers do you have?
We have about 25 currently, and those 25 people see, on the average, 400 to 500 new people a year.
Wow.
So we have a sizable impact, but you know, we're still a pretty well-kept secret in Albuquerque after 40 years. So we're delighted that we have an opportunity to share the word on your program.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Vic, it's good to see you again. Thank
see
you
you.
for being here. Peter, thank you.
Our
Appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Vic Berniklau and Pete Mikelson with us today from SCORE. Take advantage of the service and this depth of business experience. It's the Morning Brew. Greg Mays is co-hosting with me today, and I'm Larry Aarons. We'll be back in a moment.